Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support of the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, then an Ottoman region with a small minority of Jewish population.
I like your fact checking everything, and it's coming great.
Well, this is good because I always wonder some little things, and I know little things, but I don't know enough.
But before 1917, there was other trials, so with other options between for the countries I told you. And you know what's the kicker? That's funny. Many Orthodox Jewish rabbis objected for Palestine to be the homeland because in their Jewish faith, we cannot have a land for Israel until the Messiah, the real Messiah, because they don't believe in Jesus, their Messiah would come. So they were a huge opposition for having a land of Israel in Palestine.
In Palestine because it was a
because it was not religious. It was not the time yet. They should wait until the Messiah to come, and then that will create the land of Israel.
Oh, I see. So wherever the Messiah showed up, that would be the land of Israel.
But the secular Zionists at the time, they said like, okay, how about like we build the land and that will force him to come. So kind of like build it and they will come. How about that? So you understand?
Like Field of Dreams kind of.
So because here's the thing, because many of the people who talk about like Israel as being like a biblical promise, even they were not having a consensus of where should we have. So whoever tells you, oh, it's consensus, it's divine. No, they even had problems deciding. So anyways, and at that time, especially 1930s after Hitler came to power, there were like droves and droves and droves of Jewish Germans and Jewish Polish people and Jewish Russian. They were like they went onto refugee boats and they came to Palestine. And you know why? Because they were not granted visas by the United States. They were not granted visas by other European countries.
Wow, so a lot of Jewish, like German Jews, Polish Jews, they weren't granted visas by
the West.
By the West, but they were by Palestine.
And Palestinians didn't have anything because it was a mandate by the British. They were occupying that land, but they were Palestinian people. So this became the myth of a land with no people to the people with no land. And if you actually find that, you will actually find that thing. This was one of the myths: a land with no people to the people with no land. So they will tell people, hey, there was no people living there, so it is ours. It is just a desert, but it was never a desert. There were like more than 1.2 million Palestinians living in that area, a piece of land.
Before the Balfour Declaration.
Before the Balfour Declaration. Then the Jewish people coming in, and then many of those Jewish European residents started to form militias and armed gangs. Like the Haganah, the Irgun, the